and in the diaspora. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, it is my singular honor and privilege to address this august house, marking the opening of the 5th session of the 9th Parliament of Zimbabwe. This state-of-the-art and majestic new Parliament building here in Mount Hampton, where we are gathered, is testimony of the strategic and comprehensive partnership and excellent fraternal relations between our great motherland, Zimbabwe, and the People's Republic of China. This session comes ahead of the 2023 Parliament general elections. Parliament is therefore expected to accelerate the completion of the matters on the legislative agenda in line with the expectations of the electorate. The period since my last address to this Parliament has been unprecedented socio-economic growth as well as the accelerated implementation of the National Development Strategy 1. Tight monetary and fiscal policy measures to stabilize the economy and curtail speculative borrowing and other rent-seeking behavior are bearing fruit. Gold coins valued at $9.5 billion were sold as the 30th of September 2022. Smaller denominations of the gold coins have been unveiled by the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe to broaden access and inclusivity. Month-on-month inflation for September significantly declined to 3.5% from 12.4% in August 2022. Every Zimbabwean must justly guard this stability we are experiencing. Meanwhile, foreign currency earnings amounted to $7.7 billion for the 8 months up to 31st August 2022. This reflects a 32.4% increase from the $5.8 billion recorded over the corresponding period in 2021. Mr. Speaker said, Madam President, in agriculture, the presidential input program is targeting this year 3 million farmers for enhanced production of cereals, oil seeds, and legumes. The program will support 5 Fumbudza Itosa plots per household, with specific crop input packages based on agro-ecological regions. The Zugaramano Ispara Senkosi program has been extended to cover the headmen and village heads. Our traditional leaders are constantly with our people at grassroots level. Hence, my government will render all possible support to them. In mining, our growth is evident in gold, coal, chrome, PGMs, and related minerals. The commissioning of the Calm and Water Mine Barracks plant, Latno Mine, and expansion of Blanket Mine, among others, coupled with contributions from artisanal miners, have resulted in increased gold production in the country. Investments in the lithium sector are pleasing and encompass extraction through to value addition that excessively dealing with the illegal mining and smuggling of precious metals. All players in the sector are once again paid to operate legally and in an environmentally sustainable manner. The economy is growing faster than power supply in our country. The Wange Unit 7 is expected to be commissioned by year-end this year. A further 300 megawatts from Unit 8 is expected to come on stream by the second quarter of 2023. Efforts are ongoing to expand the country's energy mix with focus on renewable energy. Mr. Speaker said, Madam President, the rebound of the manufacturing sector is encouraging, with industrial capacity utilization exceeding 66% in 2022, up from 47% in 2020. The implementation of the local content strategy has seen the introduction of new products that are critical in the agriculture, mining, and transport sectors, among others. Modern and efficient infrastructure is the cornerstone for economic development. More than 340 kilometers of the Harare Bike Bridge Road has been completed and opened to traffic. Construction of the Mudzi interchange is also well underway. Local companies contracted on the emergency road rehabilitation program. They have created both direct and indirect jobs in the economy. Considerable progress has been made on airstrips such as Binda and Bumi Hills, while the upgrading and modernization of the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport is on schedule. Phase 1 of the Bide Bridge Border Post Modernization Project is complete and now open to the public. The tourism and hospitality sector is on a rapid post-COVID recovery path, and more airlines are servicing our routes. State enterprises and parastatals have great potential to contribute to economic growth. As such, their profitability and efficiency remain a priority. The Grain Marketing Board, DMAJA, has separated the strategic grain reserve from the commercial division. Zimbabwe Mining Development Corporation subsidiaries have been recapitalized and strengthened through joint venture partnerships. Furthermore, the Airports Company of Zimbabwe and the Civil Aviation Authority of Zimbabwe are now operating as two distinct companies. Mr. Speaker said, Madam President, in April of this year, our nation accomplished a historic transition by undertaking a digital population and housing census, replacing the traditional paper-based system. Resounding sample of the importance of technologies and innovation in the improvement of our systems. Competence-based curriculum in primary and secondary schools supports the transition from school to the world of work through study of sciences, technology, innovation, and the production of goods and services. Our education revolution, dubbed Chimurenga Chepfungwa, is progressing at an accelerated pace. Robust innovation and industrialization core ecosystems now characterize our universities and colleges, with more and more of our young, talented boys and girls registering patents, startups, and breakthrough inventions. These will continue to be nurtured for commercialization as we leap forward the modernization and industrialization of our motherland, Zimbabwe. Comrades and friends, Zimbabwe recently launched our first satellite, ZimStat-1, into space. This will have far-reaching impacts on all sectors of the economy, including agriculture, mining, as well as weather and land management systems. Our quest to achieve universal health coverage remains on course. Renovations and the construction of health centers, clinics, and district hospitals are being speeded up. The new Pathology and Diagnostic Center in Midlands, at Midlands State University, with the state-of-the-art equipment, has increased the community access to related services. The Simon Mazorodze School of Medical and Health Sciences has been established as part of a comprehensive program to enhance the training of medical practitioners in our country. This becomes the fourth medical and health sciences school in our motherland, Zimbabwe. Polytechnics, teachers' colleges, and industrial training centers are now under the newly created Tertiary Education Council. The mandates of these colleges are being enhanced towards national development through learning of science, technology, engineering, and innovation to produce goods and services that better the quality of life of our people. Of the e-government system, citizens should be able to obtain permits, licenses, and personal documents without visiting government offices. To date, the use of information communication technologies has greatly enhanced the service delivery within the Civil Registry Department, which is now issuing passports more efficiently than before. Mr. Speaker, Madam President, our responsive social protection measures are catering for vulnerable individuals, households, and communities. Over 2 million orphans and vulnerable children have benefited under the BEAM program. The food deficit mitigation program is ongoing. Housing delivery is expected to spur the nation towards the attainment of our Vision 2030, with projects underway in all parts of the country. Financial institutions and the private sector are commended for complementing government efforts in this regard. Youth development and economic empowerment are critical cogs in the Second Republic's transformational agenda. Under the Youth Build Zimbabwe program, more youths are volunteering towards community and national development programs. All stakeholders are urged to scale up programs to end the new menace of drug and substance abuse, child marriages, as well as all forms of violence. Government is mainstreaming and entrenching a new work culture across the public sector to bolster performance and the delivery of quality services across all levels of public entities, including local authorities and state-owned enterprises. Mr. Speaker, Madam President, Zimbabwe's foreign policy of engagement and re-engagement, as well as our trust to be a friend to all and an enemy to none, continues to bear fruit. Our diplomatic missions have been refocused towards economic diplomacy and diaspora engagement to attract investment and mutually beneficial partnerships across the globe. The need for the unconditional removal of sanctions, which have constrained socioeconomic growth for decades, remains urgent and imperative. We are grateful to AU, SADC, and other world leaders who made similar calls during the 77th United Nations General Assembly recently. Our country welcomes the invitation to attend the United States Africa Summit in December next month, and emphasis remains on dialogue and multilateralism as the best option to resolve today's global challenges. We take pride in the election of Honorable Chief Charumbira as President of the Pan-African Parliament. Also, we have our own citizen, son of the soil, Dr. Cosmas Zava, as Director of the Telecommunications Development Bureau of the International Communications Union, as well as Zimbabwe's election into the International Civil Aviation Organization Council. This speaks volumes of our foreign policy. Our country has also assumed the chairmanship of the Kimberley Process Certification Scheme worldwide. As sanctions-free Zimbabwe stands ready to do more within the Committee of Nations. Meanwhile, our security forces are contributing officers for regional and international peace support operations under the United Nations, the African Union, and within SADC. The participation of women in peacekeeping missions has increased, with the current Air Force of Zimbabwe deployment surpassing 50% mark espoused in the United Nations, AU, and the SADC protocols on gender equality. The all-encompassing Veterans of the Liberation Struggle Act is being implemented following the provision of funding for the operationalization of the Veterans Investment Corporation. Mr. Speaker, Madam President, allow me now to turn to the legislative business, which must occupy the parliamentary schedule during this final session of the 9th Parliament. The Office of the Attorney General has since been hived off from the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. This should see this office fully discharging its mandate more efficiently and effectively. In the financial services sector, the Insurance Bill seeks the Insurance Act to address regulatory gaps and weaknesses. The new session must expedite passage of the Labour Amendment Bill. Cabinet recently passed the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Compliance Monitoring and Evaluation Regulations 2022, as well as the amendments to the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets General Amendment Regulations 2018, which, among other provisions, will require all procuring agencies to establish the market value of goods for ease of evaluation of quotations and the value for money. In line with the Agriculture, Food Systems and Transformation Strategy, amendments to the Plant Breeders Act, the Animal Health Act, the Water Act, the Xenoa Act, the Land Commission Act, and the Bees Act will be tabled. Equally, the Fisheries and Aquaculture Bill, the Agricultural Resources Conservation Bill, and the Agricultural Education Bill will enhance the attainment of food and nutrition security. In addition, the Sugar Act is being reviewed in order to classify sugarcane as a strategic crop. The Mines and Minerals Amendment Bill now awaits gazetting. Farming and mining activities will be accorded due recognition in the resolution of disputes. The bill will also strengthen environmental protection. The fifth session must speedily consider legislation towards alignment of the devolution and decentralization program of the Second Republic through amendments of the Provincial Councils and Administration Act, the Rural District Councils Act, as well as the Regional, Town and Country Planning Act. The Disaster Risk Management Bill will promote the involvement of all citizens in effective disaster preparedness, mitigation, response, and recovery measures. Government shall be seeking parliamentary ratification of various memoranda of understanding regarding partnerships to promote ICT infrastructure and the skills development. Through the Electronic Transactions and the Electronic Commerce Bill, government seeks to establish a legal framework that facilitates fair, accessible, responsible, and sustainable online transacting, including the recognition of digital signatures. The Criminal Law Codification and Reform Amendment Bill 2022, the Public Interest Disclosure Protection of Whistleblowers Bill 2022, the Electoral Amendment Bill 2022, the Witness Protection Bill, the Zimbabwe Human Rights Amendment Bill, and the Legal Aid Amendment Bill must all be tabled during this session. The Electoral Amendment Bill, which spells out new provisions for holding the 2023 harmonized elections, should be speedily concluded by this Parliament. Outstanding bills from the fourth session of the 9th Parliament must be expedited. These include the Child Justice Bill, the Judicial Laws Amendment Bill, and the Prisons and Correctional Service Amendment Bill. Mr. Speaker, Madam President, as I conclude, I wish to reiterate that the attainment of Vision 2030 of a prosperous and empowered upper middle income society requires raising production and productivity across all sectors of the economy. This can only be achieved if our people are united and peaceful. Political players seeking the people's mandate during the upcoming 2023 harmonized general elections must maintain and consolidate the current peace, unity, harmony, and love that we have built and nurtured under the Second Republic. Violent confrontations have never been part of our culture as a people. Let me also emphasize that although the COVID-19 pandemic has largely subsided, the virus still poses a threat. Therefore, there is need for all our people to remain vigilant. I want to take this opportunity to wish Parliament success in dispensing its onerous duty as the elected representatives of the people of our motherland, Zimbabwe. With these remarks, it is now my singular honor and privilege to declare the 5th session of the 9th Parliament of Zimbabwe officially open. God bless you all. God bless Zimbabwe. I thank you.